Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, everybody. Little technical difficulties on my part. So we're going to start this podcast right over again, from the beginning. And today's guest is Robert Haddocks, um, professional trainer, freelance writer, worked 15 years in journalism from papers up here in the Standard Times down south to Atlanta, Journal Constitution. And I'm actually really thrilled to have him on as a guest. He was brought to my attention by Kippy Andrade, and so I reached out to Robert Haddocks. How you doing, Robert? People in New Bedford call you Bobby, so we kind of,
Yeah, I was having that conversation today with some of my clients because people always trip when they find out that to most people back home, I'm Bob or Bobby.
Uh-huh.
Like a Bob or a Bobby. I'm like, well, 95% of people back home, I'm Bob or Bobby. So, all good. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, it's weird that cousin of mine. It's actually like my brother. He is my brother. His name's Robert, and he growing up, he was Bobby, and now it's Robert. So me, I kind of slip up, and I out of respect to him, I try to call him Robert, as much as I can. But when you,
I don't mind Bob or Bobby. It's all good.
So 15 years, we're gonna 15 years in journalism, and you've done entertainment, you did arts, you did the police beat, community beat. Did I mention arts? Yes. So you got a big wheelhouse of what you were working with.
Right.
You covered a lot of them. So out of all those, which one was the most interesting, most intriguing to you? Maybe even your favorite, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, as I said, that's a great question because all the beats that I covered had some things that made them special, made them challenging, and the police beat, which I took over in New Bedford at the Standard Times, probably my last 2 years there, if that long, were very, very challenging, yet very rewarding. And you, as a former cop, know that the relationship between the police and the media is not always a buddy one. It can be somewhat adversarial. Cops don't like what the police write. I'm sorry, police don't like what the media writes, and there can be some friction sometimes based on what gets reported. So there were some walls there when I took over because the person that I replaced had been on that beat for a long time, and she was kind of entrenched and had all her contacts. So I come in, I'm a new guy, and there were definitely some walls and some people who looked at me differently because they didn't know where I was coming from. What was I going to be fair and objective? Was my reporting going to be slanted? So there were some challenges initially, but I think over time, most of the people that I dealt with got to respect me and knew that I was going to report things objectively, and was able to form some good relationships, some good contacts. So that was a very rewarding beat. And as I told you earlier, it was also very rewarding being a New Bedford kid to grow up there and then to report on the community. Did some stuff in terms of columns where I was able to express my opinion and become somewhat of a voice in the community as it relates to public housing, crime, and just racism and people's perspective. So I was just able to share my perspective, which, not everybody agreed with, but it was one that I certainly enjoyed giving. And I think overall people enjoyed my writing, even if they did not always agree with it.
True. And you mentioned about that wall, that barrier, and it's actually, it continues for most writers and radio hosts in this area so much, and it's continued. Just recently, they had there was a discussion on WBSM with one of their hosts and the chief of police, and they were going back and forth about knowing things and want to get it out to the public. It wasn't done at a timely fashion. We try to reach out to you. So there's a wall there, and it's actually been an open discussion let me see, for the past maybe 4 or 5 days. And so and so I understand that riff, and I actually witnessing a lot of it, especially where I was at a lot of I was on the desk, so I was getting guys like you, girls in your profession calling me and actually so there was only so many things I could say, only because I had orders to don't say anything until it's in print, in front of you, then that's what you give out. And so sometimes it was whether I had a relationship with someone, I can actually, talk to them one-on-one and have that respect or confidence that, look, I'm going to give you a heads up. This is what it is, but just wait.
Right.
And work around it. And that's building, where you and I, if that situation was, where you were asking me that information, and guess what? I'm going to give you what I can. And then really know that, you're going to be a constant professional about it. So, yeah. Right. But let's go to the training. I mentioned previously about how being in physical shape on the outside, some people like myself fail to realize that just as being in good shape on the outside, you have to actually be in good shape on the inside, eating the right foods, eating the proper foods. And but I'm so happy that you're into training. You're still in good shape. You're putting other people in good shape as much as they want it. Some people may want it for just a month, might want it for a week, may even struggle after that first day and say, you know what, Coach Haddocks, I'm not coming back. I know.
Yeah.
So, you got any story you want to share about, just that physical training part? Is it still hard? Is it hard for you? Is it easy for you? Has it become such a routine that it doesn't bother you? We are at an age. Go ahead.
It's never bothered me. For the most part, I enjoy what I do. There are some people close to me that say, "Oh, well, you love your job." I'm like, no, I don't know where that came from. I like my job. My job, typically, I do find enjoyable and rewarding. But like any job, no, there are some days I don't want to go in. There are some people I may not want to deal with for an hour one-on-one. So no, my job, I enjoy it. I do find it rewarding, when you can, work with somebody and see the changes that they may undergo with their body and how it also is going to lift them, spiritually and just their confidence. That's always exciting to be a part of. So, I have many personal stories, whether it was significant weight loss, whether it was somebody recovering from an injury, whether it was training an athlete to get to a certain point. Those are all the things that we as trainers just have to strive for and kind of get our kicks from that. And it's a situation where, I didn't strive out to be a personal trainer. That was never my goal. My goal was to pursue journalism, which I did, and, made my mark there to a point. But then the industry just kind of collapsed. People just aren't buying newspapers. So I worked at the AJC for about 9 years before I was laid off and did some freelancing after that. But in the meantime, I had started training, and, that just became something that was
okay. We're trying to stay connected here. Let us know if you can still hear us here. right. 1 second here. I'm gonna text Bobby about his feed and maybe this sometimes happens, we're actually, miles and miles apart. So he's just checking his feed and we'll be back. He'll be back on. So we got a great man. I like some of the comments here. I'm going to bring it to his attention real quick, after he finishes what he's saying. And the great thing is that, this is a dude that you can admire. He's a constant gentleman, good upbringing, definitely going to be 100% with you. And so that's the type of person I want on this podcast. You're definitely talking about so many different things here, with him playing football and journalism and so on and so forth. The last name speaks for itself. Great people, and there's no such thing as a bad Haddocks. So here he is. He's back on. All right,
man.
Yeah,
man. Lost. Sorry for the mishap. My turn this time.
Yeah, that's all right. It's team sport, right? And so we'll get back to what you're saying. I got some crazy, good comments here. Let's talk to the dude. Well, I'm gonna bring up a comment from Kippy here. Said Bobby was one of the strongest players on the football team. Yeah, a crazy bench press. So, I
yeah, that was my thing. Bench press and push-ups. I was that guy.
No doubt. Even got some of your kin on here. Let's see here. Hold on here. Love, very proud of my cousin Robert. God bless both of you, men. It's from John Duwatt, my man.
Thanks, John.
Yeah. Let's see. Jack McGee, one of my linemen,
Yep. Big Jack.
I love this. I could have been an All-American. We're going to talk to Coach Hamlet about those days, man, and Little Dog.
Uh-huh.
I still got flashbacks and nightmares. That less playing time, man. I got to talk to them. We're gonna get Coach Hamlet on there soon. All right, that's sorry. All right, here's one more. Bobby was the best reporter for the Standard Times, and you know what? You were one of my favorites because all I had to do is see your name, and actually, they had a little illustration of you like they used to do with Mr. White and everything, and but anyway.
No, there was no illustration. I mean, all the reporters had their column photo. Like, so when I first started and I was covering Westport, every Sunday we had a Westport column, Westport Wanderings. There was the Freetown reporter. He had his reporter. So there was that. And then again, toward the last half of my time there, that's when I started writing, more opinion columns. Yeah, I mean, I had my column photo, but no, there was no, like Dick White, you're right, I believe did have like an illustration of Dick, because Dick was big time and a very talented man.
Sure was. Now, when you left there, that was by your choice. Better opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I left there, nothing really to do with the Standard Times. It was more so I was just seeking a change of scenery. I came down to Atlanta in '97, and that was due in large part to being exposed to it by my mom. My mom left New Bedford in 1993. I had come down here several times to visit her and just saw a different way of life, a different culture, a different atmosphere. one that I thought was just, more appealing. So I made that decision probably in 96 that I was going to leave and come down, and have no regrets that I did. It's just a different way of life. Not to diminish anything about New B, because I always say New Bedford, I am a proud New Bedford native. Love New B, love going home, for the 4th and whenever I can. But it was just a different experience here in Atlanta. So I opted to leave the city.
And I understand that. 5 years of my life I was away from New Bedford in LA, down in Florida for 2. So I understand what you're saying. And one thing I loved about Florida being down there was the people. Some dear friends that are down there that I still kind of miss. I still haven't been back for a while. When I went to Fort Benning to see 2 of my cousins graduate from the Army, and I was that close to where I lived, which was Fort Walton Beach, Florida. I was like right there. I said, let me take a quick ride. But I didn't have all that time. And you know how it is. It's just similar to like going home to New Bedford. You have just a little bit of time, and I know if I had reached down and gone down to Florida, it would extend my stay a little bit longer, and I didn't want to kind of shortchange myself. So I ended up coming back up north. So.
No, I mean, one thing I definitely want to get across and express is, my fondness and my love for New Bedford, despite leaving, because there's no place else that I would rather grow up than New Bedford. Just that sense of community, the relationships that are built, the family connection. You cannot get that in many places. I'm sure there are some other small cities, but New Bedford is just, I think, unique in how close-knit it is, how families for generations know each other. Of course, the city has dealt with an incredible amount of loss the last year or 2.
True.
And the whole community feels it. So that sense of community is probably what again, you don't have that. People don't know each other down through the generations. There is not that bond that, goes back 20, 50, 100 years in some cases. And also the whole Cape Verdean connection, you're not going to find that type of,
exactly
connection in other places.
Let's see. Michael Kahn says Bobby was always a person who kept it real and comes from a great family and is well respected in community. He is in the phenomenal shape and enjoyed his videos tremendously. Great guy.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, he ain't saying what we all say. We all say that about you. See, this says my baby brother is an inspiration to many, so committed to helping others and do and be their best. I see that. I can't see.
I'm assuming that's my sister Roxanne. There was no name attached, but it could only be one of 2 people. But I'm thinking that it was her. So
true.
Yeah, thanks, Rob.
Kippy Andrade says a tribe called Quest. So he's already starting. He says it's turkey fried chicken.
Turkey fried chicken. I'm not sure what that's about.
Well, look, he kind of probably typo. Let's see what he says here. All right. Kentucky Fried Chicken. Here we go.
Had some good times at KFC.
Yeah. Actually, let's go back. Do you remember when KFC was down on Cove Road? A lot of people missed that. It was near the Hurricane Dike down there where Cove Discount used to be. And there was a KFC over there. And sometimes I use that as a trivia question. I mean, the first and foremost one we remember is on County Street. And
right. Yeah. I had not had that brought to my attention, but I guess you're right. But you're older than me, Charlie, right?
No. At least I could have one up on you, but you do look 10 years younger than me, so
Nah, you got more gray in your beard, but you got all your hair though.
yeah. You know what? It's amazing how this stuff keeps going. And I look at my uncle, and my uncle's, I believe he's 90, 89, something like that. His hair is still growing like if he was a teenager. And I'm glad he stopped dyeing it. So now the gray looks nice, and I could turn all gray. I'll keep, as long as I got my hair, I'm cool. So
yeah, you're good, man.
Yeah. So let's see here. Reggie Victor. I remember Bob was working at KFC and used to hook me up. Yeah, hey, feeding a Victor. That might be a lot of food, man. If feeding any Victor, that's gonna be a lot of food, man. That crew can eat.
You're right.
Hey,
yeah,
Galen.
I don't remember hooking them up. I don't remember hooking them up, quite honestly. There were some that I might have hooked up, but they were a little cuter than Reggie.
I ain't dogging Reggie. He's still much bigger than me.
Kip is acting up, man. Yeah. Yo, can we mute some of the responses here?
Yeah, we're gonna. Kip, see, that's what I mean about him. You got to watch him, and he's gonna throw them small softball pitches out to you, and and then he's only setting you up. So, hey, Kippy, we're on to you, man. New Bedford, Georgia, everybody's on to you, man. We're watching out for you. But we do support him, man. We do support him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I when you're doing your freelance writing and your blog, and tell me where what kind of format or forum you're using. Is it something on a website? Kind of throw that out there. Maybe someone might be interested in kind of following you and paying attention to what you're writing.
I actually have not had a blog for a while. I do some writing for a former colleague. You there?
Yeah.
You got me?
I'm there. Yeah, I got you now.
All good?
Yep, all good.
All good, Charlie?
Yeah, you're all good, Robert. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't have a blog. I don't have a blog site anymore. Okay. Yeah, so I do some freelancing for a few different publications, but nothing that I have of my own. Although I certainly need to. I do plan to get more content out there in terms of physical fitness and training. And while I'm here, so let me say that when I post some stuff on Facebook, I need some love. I need some feedback. People always tell me, like Michael Kahn, and Michael is good. Michael will always comment on some of my posts, but a brother needs some love. So give me some love when you see something that I post. Let me know
definitely
that the content is being well received. And
I'm
that does inspire me, right? We all need
that happens,
some affirmation sometimes.
So my pages,
don't be afraid to hit the like button.
Hold on, Robert, 1 second here.
Do more.
There's one thing that we need is to support each other, and so when I see your stuff up there, I'm definitely going to be sharing it. What I'm trying to pay attention to is people that were on my older page, my first Facebook page, are not on my second one that I have now. And so I got to pay attention to that so I can actually kind of share some of the stuff, especially things that you're doing. And but it's true. You need that input. You need that. It's like when I'm writing my poetry, I need to know that people are liking it. Some people might not like it, but I need to know that. So, and I know that's pretty much with you too also. You still there?
you want some feedback.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep.
guys, hear me? Everything all so.
Yeah, I'm
Bobby, can you
here.
hear me? All right. Okay. Um, so we we need that feedback. We need that support.
I hear you fine. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. All right.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
during this year, this past year, there was a lot of things going on. And there was so much material that you could write about, and I found myself kind of being reluctant
Yeah, I
just
hear
to
you.
get
I hear you.
stop to. I was trying not to get in the mix, only because everything was a fight, no matter what you said or what you kind of wrote about. So I was trying to stay away from a lot of stuff. How did you feel about it this year?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, that is so funny because just yesterday I was talking with a client at the gym, and he was just talking about Facebook, and he's not a big fan of it, even though he's on it. And we were talking about expressing opinions, and yes, occasionally I have been known to express my opinion. I mean, I still consider myself a writer, even though I'm not gainfully employed as a writer, but
Mm-hmm.
I have opinions, and I'm going to express them when I feel the need. And as you said, it has been tough to just sit by idly and not comment on some things. Some things need to be addressed, they need to be said. But as I was talking with my client, regardless of what we say, in most cases, at least 9 out of 10, we're not going to change anybody's opinion.
True.
So that's kind of the rub. Like, okay, do I go out and just, have this opinionated column, take this stance where I'm going to alienate some of my friends, some of my family? Yeah, that's like I said, that's the rub. But yeah, there were some things that have gone on, and this will not change regardless of the change of the administration. If I find something that I find detestable, just something that's unacceptable, yeah, I'm going to speak on it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to silence myself because, like I said, to sit idly by, there's that thing about, silence is kind of complicity.
Yeah. Yep.
So we do have to speak up in whatever forum, whether that be Facebook, whether that be writing your congressman. We do have to speak up and voice our concerns, because I think some people, yeah, they prefer that we do not
Mm-hmm.
speak our mind. I know I've had clients that I have lost or not gained
Mm-hmm.
because I have expressed my opinion on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
that I know for a fact. I've been told that from people in my circle. And my thing is like, so be it. I mean,
Yeah.
if they do not want to train with me because they don't agree with my political, or in this case, more social stance, because I said a lot of the friction that we may have, that may have been,
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a political thing. It's a social thing. It's a human thing.
Yeah.
Right. So that's always my stance. This is not Republican versus Democrat in many cases. The things that I have, expressed and have drawn some or some eyebrows have been raised in some circles about some stuff that I've written. It was not political. It was human. It was racial, and that's something that some people might not understand.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the man that did occupy the White House. It was about us as human beings, and yes, us as people of color. That's all part of it, but it wasn't Republican, Democrat per se. It was much bigger than that.
Yeah, I've found that what I've been liking to do is instead of going with that tennis match every now and then, you just mentioned about writing our politicians. I've been doing that so much now, and then slipping a letter, and actually getting a response back pretty quickly compared to something that I thought that was going to kind of sit on the shelf for a little bit and never get reached, and I end up getting a response. And it may be someone, it may be a clerk or an assistant somewhere that's sitting on a desk that's answering me, but it's still an answer.
I was done with my spiel. What you got?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, let me see. I'm gonna see if we got some new comments here. Now you mentioned mom's down your way.
Charlie?
Yep, you there? Still there?
Charlie Perry?
Yep, I hear you.
Charlie Murphy?
You there? Damn.
Come on, Charlie. Don't make me do this.
Oh, no. Still there? Can you hear Bobby? Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me? All right. I'm just sorry about this. We get
right.
Bobby, I'm gonna try to put you on the screen by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
For a second here. All right, 1 second here.
Yes. Yeah. You hear me? Yeah. I'm here. But it seems to be a delay maybe on your end. I've got a full signal. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. I do hear you.
Stream my
okay.
wireless or something, but I'm sorry about that. At least I got something out of this. I'd like to get a whole lot more out of it, and maybe we can definitely do this at a later date. And it's still going to be aired. It's still conversation. I still see comments in there, so let me see if I can we can try to address it.
Got no audio. I don't know if you can hear me, but I don't hear anything on that end.
All right.
All right, I just put you back, Charlie. Charlie, I hear you now. Can you hear me? Got no audio here. Hey, Charlie.
All right. I don't know what's going on here. Try to go onto my other connection here. So you can't hear me at all?
No, like once you went to a screen with just me, I had no audio whatsoever. And then even when you came back, when you were back on the screen, I could see you. I could see you were talking, but no, I had no audio whatsoever.
Well, try this because I don't want to keep bouncing around. Could you leave your phone there on for a little bit?
What's that?
I'm gonna leave my phone on, or we can end the broadcast and try to come back later.
Okay.
I don't want to leave everybody hanging because we have a lot of good comments. And and I don't like that echo, so it's just going to be crazy and unprofessional, and I don't want to be that way.
Right.
So, all right. We'll just end this and try to come back to it when I get things situated a little bit better than what it is now.
Okay.
To everyone out there, thank you very much, and I'm sorry for this inconvenience. We will get Robert Haddocks back on the air very, very soon. It's on his schedule. So, but feel free to send me an email at Daily Charlie Podcast. All right. Robert, thank you. I appreciate it. And sorry, Mom, had to see this pitch for broadcast. It's not good.
I know she'll forgive me. I'm not sure about you, though.
That's all right. I'll send her some sand. I got a sweet son. I can send anything back her way, you know.
All right. So that sounds good to me.
All right.
All right, Charlie.
God bless you.
All right, Newbie. God bless you, man.